All right, we're live. So let's roll this. What do we call this? Advertisement, spiel, banner. What is this?
Introduction.
Introduction. There you go. Thank you. My brain's gone. Hey, welcome back to episode 49 of the Spectator Mode Podcast. As always, I'm the forgetful Keith Mitchell, Rob Dolen, Karl Smart, and Matthew Get Serious Paul. What's up, folks?
We are here. We are good. We are here to talk video games.
Well,
video game related products.
Video games and all video game related products. That said, guys, we didn't have a podcast really last week. We had some issues, but we're back this week. We got 4 people, so we'll try and make this. We'll try and make up for last week. That said, I'm in video game heaven right now. I'm pretty sure somebody knows why that is. No,
You got into the beta.
We're starting off with games we've been playing this week, and I've got a bunch of games I've been playing this week. First and
Then how about
foremost,
you start us off?
First, Phantasy Star Online 2. I waited for these games for 8 years. 8 freaking years.
Yep, and the Sega's giving it to us.
Oh my god, it's so good. It is dated by MMO and online game standards, but it's just the nostalgia factor and the fact that, again, I've been waiting for 8 years. I don't care. I'm loving it. I've been playing it as long as I've been able to. Other than last night, it was servers going down every second. I get up this morning to play it. Neglected my duties, got yelled at by the wife, and then I had to go to Jersey for a couple hours. Came back, played about a good hour.
The best part about Phantasy Star 2 is all the people who went through hell to play through the Japanese versions were like, it's never coming to America. It's complete crap. And then here we are. So shut up. That's all I say about it.
It is great. I'm having so much fun right now. It's only a beta. We don't know when exactly the game is coming out.
Spring 2020.
That doesn't help us. It's just a window. It's like, when?
Yeah.
I can put in my PTO and say, I'm not coming in today, tomorrow, the day after that. I need to know.
Please, like that actually works with your job.
Yeah, exactly.
It works yesterday. Yesterday, I was not on call. I took off. And I said it in the chat. I would say yesterday was like one of my most peaceful days in a long time. My tinnitus was down because I wasn't stressing out. Nobody was blowing up my phone. It was sublime. It was sublime. It was great. Seriously, I've said it multiple times today. It was great. Other than Phantasy Star Online 2, I've been playing. I know I shouldn't say it, but I'm not really talking about it. So the PC version of Daemon X Machina, the PR company was kind enough to send us a copy to check it out, and it is so much better than the Switch version. So much better.
Figured.
I can't say anything else, but it's so good. Other than that, our review of Kunai went out, the 2D Metroidvania, and you play a tablet, and I've been playing that again. Good game, enjoyable. Matt, it's something you would really like.
Yeah, I haven't touched it yet.
I have another copy of the code or the game. They sent me another one in that press kit. So I was like, if you want to play it, you've been playing something that's very similar. I want you to go next. I saw you playing it.
Yes.
So go ahead.
Scourgebringer.
Yep.
Yeah, I've been playing Scourgebringer since I've been getting to roguelike crack. I think if you guys haven't seen in chat that I'm an expert in Hades now. I can definitely attest to that. I'm an expert in this game. So I've been playing a lot more roguelikes. I play Scourgebringer. It's pretty fun. I feel Scourgebringer, the only thing that's cheap about the game is that there's no invincibility whatsoever. So if you do a dash attack, it's not invincible. So basically, it's all hardcore dodging. So basically, unlike, like I said, like Hades, your dash is invincible, but you have a set distance of invincibility. I'm used to that a little bit. So Scourgebringer is real fun. I enjoy it. I'm playing that. I've also recently got Children of Mortar. I haven't touched that yet. I've been playing that. And I recently got Devil May Cry 4. Started playing it, and I'm enjoying it because I haven't played it when it came out. So that's that. Oh, and I also been playing Grand Blue Fantasy Versus because it's out.
You got to talk. No. You need to talk about that.
You prepping for Evo.
I'm not going to Evo. I'm playing the game to see how it is from an Arc standpoint, and it's probably Arc System's most balanced game they've made in a long time. BlazBlue Crosstag is a hot mess in a balanced sense. It's just like rip, dude. Hit one mix-up, it's over. Dragon Ball FighterZ is essentially a more balanced Marvel, but because it's like a Marvel game, it is what it is. But it's a good game at least. It's better than Marvel is, and Marvel heads don't want to hear that, so it's true. But this game, Grand Blue, is really good. All the characters feel fresh. The combo system is great. Using auto combos scale a lot more, so you can't just do like in Dragon Ball, Bardock just hit 5L and just wreck everybody. A lot of characters are just strong. Yes, Goku is in the game, not there yet, but Grand Blue, and the best part about Grand Blue so far is the tech. All the tech is there. The two strongest characters, according to the Japanese tier list, which is a running joke, is just Trolletta, the short midget character who is just the sword and the crown. She just does massive damage as Dark Hammer, and Mitara. So two characters with two different playstyles are strong. This is just one playstyle, and then there's everybody else. And I think the game's going to be good so far. I'm only upset because if you are an English person and not going to buy the Hong Kong version or the Japanese version, you might as well have to wait until March to play the game. Which was a total. I always hated that by Arc Systems. I was in Japanese game releases, always hated that. Just do same day releases. But this game has voice acting, so I guess that's something.
Do you think it was a good pick for EVO after playing it?
Yes, it had to be. I mean, Mr. Wizard is stupid, but not that stupid.
Anybody gonna miss Mortal Kombat though? We'll talk about that later. Actually,
Mortal Kombat, yeah. Honestly, I do miss Mortal Kombat. It should have gotten Spot. Not Marvel 2 Invitational. It's just a payday for old heads, but that's just my opinion.
Yeah, we got that as one of our topics, so we'll talk about that in a little bit. Go ahead, Mace. What have you been playing?
To be honest, I was playing Dragon Ball Z Kakarot for our review over at the Outerhaven.net, which you can go and read because it's over there. And that sort of got me wanting to go back a bit, so it's like I currently have these two sitting here that I'm making my way back through. Mainly Xenoverse because of I think there's a lot of similarities between that playstyle and the Kakarot playstyle, as I pointed out in the review. So I'm sort of just going back to confirm that for myself. Plus, I'm on a bit of a Dragon Ball kick at the moment. But other than that, not really.
So nothing but Dragon Ball.
Nothing but Dragon Ball at the moment. I have been fiddling with my Super Nintendo because I'm still doing the whole retro collecting thing.
Man, you still have not kicked that, huh?
Nah, man, I'm not going to either. The fact that there are things out there now that can use the original hardware and you can get access to pretty much everything through less than legal means, because screw Nintendo and their archiving policies.
Oh boy.
I picked up a few of some interesting flash-based cartridges for the system.
All right, we're not gonna talk about that. Yeah, we like you, Nintendo. We're gonna pass.
We like you, but your archiving policies are shit.
I gotta say, I am very happy with Nintendo. You guys heard in the Discord yesterday or the day before. I sent out my day one Switch, which was out of warranty for 2 years now. Send it to Nintendo because I was having problems with the left Joy-Con charging and a bunch of other issues. They replaced everything. They replaced the shell. They replaced the Joy-Cons. They replaced the connections. They replaced my screen because I know my screen protector is gone.
Yeah, they updated the firmware on it to be the current uncrackable one.
No. I still have the older version. The first one got checked, and I was like, nope, still the old one.
So you already got it back?
Yeah, wow. It came back. It was less than
great.
Less than 2 weeks. Yeah, I'm happy. I'm very happy. I was like, okay, thank you. No charge, which was weird because I thought they were going to charge me. Now here I was set to buy a new Switch, and they fixed everything for me. So I'm very happy with that. Thank you, Nintendo, for fixing my Switch for free.
Well, that's always been the thing that, like, with Nintendo price, at least with the consoles anyway. A lot of people thought they don't really do this as much anymore. But they had the lifetime guarantees or lifetime warranties on the console.
I haven't seen that policy, honestly.
Yeah, I think that's gone.
64, or that's a long time.
Yeah, the 64 was probably the last one they documented it. But Nintendo, when it comes to repairs, unless it's something absolutely major, they are a really good company to send stuff off to. If it's like a first time that it's happened or it's something minor, they don't charge you. If they have to replace something major, then the cost comes in.
I will say, a couple of years ago, I had
it's better than Sony, who if you crack, you got a little chip on something, they charge you $200.
I gotta say, I sent in a 3DS a couple years ago, and they did charge me, but to be fair, it did get wet. My son dropped it in some water, so they did charge me, but it was only $100. So,
which means that they probably would have had to replace the motherboard or something on board, which costs them money. So they would have charged you money for it.
So yeah, I'm happy. I'm extremely happy with that. Thank you for that, Nintendo. All right, guys. So we got a bunch of topics this week.
I didn't play any games this week. It's fine.
Oh wow!
I'm sorry. No.
Don't worry about it. Let's go.
No, because I saw you playing games this week. Don't lie.
So Wally's too busy enjoying his hand.
I saw you playing Life is Strange 2, and I saw you playing Destiny.
I did. I actually finished my Life is Strange 2 playthrough. It was great. I actually went through and checked out a couple of the other endings and stuff, which was fun. And I had a great time with it. I liked the game a lot. I can't say personally that I liked it more than the original. I think it was its own story in its own way, and it's hard to compare the two. It goes into completely different, like subject material, stuff like that. And, a lot of it can sometimes be kind of ham-fisted. That's kind of how the first one was anyway.
It's so, like the magic. It's like Walking Dead Season 1 to Walking Dead Season 2. It's still a great game. It's just the magic's gone because you're experienced before. And to me, a game that does sequels like that or in Gen nature, they have to just go, unless they're going to go like some psychopath, go completely out of opposite game.
Yeah.
And it's not a bad game. I know what you're saying. I love Life is Strange. It's like, it's just...
Yeah,
it's the magic, it's not there anymore. Did it?
I did like the idea of them actually switching up the power entirely, which was really cool. Because a lot of people kind of figured that the next Life is Strange game would be about time travel again, and not only that, but spoilers technically, but the game's been out for a while. You don't have the superpower as the main protagonist, your brother does. He's also a main character, but it was just cool. It was a very cool dynamic because they switched things up on you, and you still had to your decisions definitely mattered a lot more, honestly, in this game, which was a big thing that I liked a lot about it, too, is that, you can't just rewind time. Whereas in the last game you could, but obviously if it was like a pivotal decision, sometimes it just wouldn't let you anyway.
What did you think about the main characters? I kind of like the characters in this one compared to the first Life is Strange.
I do like the main character in that it's still kind of like the stereotypical, coming of age teenager stereotype, but I did like him. He had a lot more I don't want to say depth, but he was they kind of leaned into him.
It was much more interactive because you spent more time with him.
Yeah. Not only that, because it was a longer season, but exactly. Even in the episodes are longer too. And the fact that you're with your brother the whole time, there's this back and forth between them that they're talking to each other. There's a lot of personal stuff that they get into right away, and the conversations that they're having because the kid's so young, both of them are. It's all about these pivotal moments and somebody growing up as a kid to an adult. And they talk about these more personal stuff. It happens more often than in Life is Strange 1, where it's it kind of comes and goes here and there, but it's more about the drama of the situation rather than what they're becoming.
I think I liked it a lot more just because it was the whole brotherhood, and I grew up with my younger brother, and the bond between us that is no longer there. But I just enjoyed that part.
Yeah, but I enjoyed it a lot. It was fantastic, and I'm glad I actually got the time to finally go in and finish it, and that was good. I wanted to let Mace know that I've officially started my Resident Evil 2 remake run. I know you've been waiting on that for a while, so I did start that, and now we're kind of going through. I'm hopping into that as soon as possible soon, hopefully go through. I started with Leon's Path. So we'll do that and see how it goes. I'm finding I don't remember a lot from the original game at all. I was really young when I played it.
You'll find even if you don't remember a lot from the original game, a lot of the layout that you think is no longer around.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
Routes have been changed up. Locations are different. There's extra mechanics thrown in. So it's best that you're going into it that you don't remember much. So it's going to be a good fresh experience for yourself.
Okay. Yeah, I did feel little inklings of that where I would think, I didn't know that was there. And then I would think back and maybe it wasn't, but I wasn't sure. I did know that some things were changed between the original and the remake. So, but it was really cool. And I'm excited to see some of the whole, the scenes are very different or not very different, but the scene where Leon and Claire meet at the fence is like not as
cheesy.
Not as cheesy as it used to be.
Yeah, as weird as it used to be. Yeah, but they still added a little bit of weirdness in there. There's definitely still like that awkward moment between them where Leon says some dumb stuff, and
it wouldn't be Resident Evil without some like absolutely cheesy ass lines or anything.
Just wait for 3. Just wait for 3.
Thank God for I'm hanging for it. I will have to. Like, are you doing PS4 or PC?
PC.
PC.
Yeah.
Okay. Once you've finished your run, because you are on PC, go look up some of the mods that are available for this thing.
Do that.
Oh man! Come on, Keith! You can't deny the man the glory of being chased down by Thomas the Tank Engine. Okay.
I don't mind that mod. I'm talking about the other ones. Oh boy!
There was one that came out recently that was really funny. I forgot what it was.
No, don't do sexy Mr. X. That's that one. No.
There are a lot of mods out there from modders who have never seen a female.
Yeah.
And you guys are against us because
I'm just saying it's just a little weird sometimes. I'm not against it.
Yeah, there are some mods there that are just pure cringe, but there are some absolutely fabulous and creative ones out there as well.
There are. Yeah,
like
there's
like even just modifying the music so instead of the traditional,
they got Geralt from The Witcher in there.
Yeah, they got Geralt.
Weapon mods. I mean, the only ones I'm really against are like when they have the female mods and it's like she's completely new. I'm like, all right, that just
that's a bit too far. But like the Thomas the Tank Engine mod for Mr. X is great.
There's a lot of there's a lot of mods with the tag sexy. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, exactly.
Avoid a lot of those if you can.
Please do.
But there's definitely. If you are gonna just for the laugh of it, the music one where you change the typical music comes out when Mr. X appears to X is gonna give it to you. That just takes all the tension out, and you're just like, yep, I'm gonna take out this motherfucker.
I'll make you a list, Rob, of which ones you should check out. I've got a good list of those. All right, let's get into it.
I believe that's out on the Outerhaven that you did that back in the day.
I did, yeah. So let's jump to the comments. Let's jump into the stories. So this one was not on the list. Actually, it should have been on the list, but I'll talk about it briefly. So a couple of days ago, I was on the Nintendo Entertainment Podcast, one of our other podcasts, and we were talking about the comments that Phil Spencer made because it seemed to be making the rounds across the internet, and people were taking it the wrong way. So I sat there and I talked to the guys about this, and the comment was not very precise, was not very clear, and I can understand where the confusion was coming from. So this is what he said. When you talk about Nintendo and Sony, we have a ton of respect for them, but we see Amazon and Google as the main competitors going forth. Now, as soon as he said that, people were like, well, Xbox is dead last, Xbox is losing, Xbox is not selling anything. And they're right. They're 100% correct. And the problem I have with that comment is that he should have said, as we look towards the future or our evolution of gaming, where we want to reach out to people by using the cloud, which isn't exactly instilling a lot of confidence in people right now because everybody thinks cloud is bad. People think back to Crackdown 3 with the power of the cloud, and it didn't do well at all. And I just want to set the record straight. I said it in their podcast. I want to say it again here. He's referring to Amazon and Google because they are the two big cloud service providers out there next to Microsoft. Microsoft is number 1, Amazon is number 2, and Google is number 3. They're looking to that in order to get their games out to everybody on laptops, on TVs, or on smartphones, anything that's not actual physical Xbox, physical piece of plastic. He's thinking beyond the consoles. He's thinking about getting everything out to your grandmom who has a phone, to Billy who wants to play this game but can't, but all he has is this really crappy laptop, or the people who don't like Xbox, Japan, but they love their smart devices. And he's thinking about using the technology of Azure, not Azul, Azure. I hate when people say that wrong, to get Xbox games out to those platforms. The problem is he did not specify that, and he should have. If he had did that, he wouldn't have as many people saying, Phil, you're stupid. Phil, this makes no sense. Phil, Xbox is dead last and you're losing. Did anybody else have anything to say about that? Or did anybody read that comment? Or did they have any thoughts about what he said?
Yeah, I mean,
I already laughed. It was the stupidest thing he ever said. He said some
silly things.
I mean, the thing is, like, from the mark, I think I told you this on Twitter, Keith. He said this. He was trying to frustrate himself. He was just copying another person's marketing strategy because that's what Nintendo's known for saying and doing. He tried to apply it to himself. It came off as stupid because Microsoft doesn't have. I told you, marketing identity, not marketing, marketing identity. Therefore, whatever. I mean, he could say, tomorrow morning, I'm going to get the biggest, hottest bimbo walking down the street and give me the sloppiest J you ever seen, mother trucker. And it'll be nothing. Boy. It doesn't mean anything. So I don't have faith in him and whatsoever what he says. I don't. Until the next console comes out and he wows me, he's like right there for me.
Well, that's the thing. It's not console related. This is not console related.
Yeah. So again, he's like, that's where he's at for me. It's like, I'm gonna put the games on your phone. I'm like, okay, cool. I'm gonna put games in your house. I don't care. Like, you're gonna pay my rent while you're at it because you want money.
That'd be nice.
I mean, I just interpreted it as just like a conceptual comment or comparison because it's not like he's realistically saying, like, why would he realistically compare himself to Sony and Nintendo? I mean, people are just going to say that he's losing, like,
and that's exactly what they did.
And,
it was a stupid thing to say. He copied word language that other competitors use, particularly Nintendo, to differentiate themselves, and it looks stupid.
I just think he's trying to frame it in a way that he's trying to say that he's more worried about what cloud computing and like what the big guys will want to do moving forward in terms of just changing the way we play games in general. Because I can't imagine he's kind of taking that and thinking like, oh, we're losing. How are we going to make ourselves better? I think he's just trying to make a conceptual comment, although it's been kind of skewed differently and people are trying to understand it differently. But I think he's realistically just trying to say that, we want our Xbox platform to compete with the streaming people who may be coming out in the future with Amazon and then people who are currently out Stadia, although the competition's not too bad there. But in general, I just think it was just a conceptual comment. He's just basically saying like, this is kind of where the future is going to be and we want to get there first, or at least try to.
I mean, them not having games and everything else, that's a whole different conversation. And it ties into this 100%. But that's not what he was referring to.
This just brings me back to the days of like, we're going to put an Xbox in every home, and it's going to be the ultimate cable and streaming system, and we're gonna bring you the streaming of your movies and your TVs and your sports.
That was
sports.
terrible.
Don't forget your sports because sports.
Yeah, we did.
And
oh god,
we want to turn the Xbox into like, in this case, instead of the Xbox, it's Microsoft. We want to be the ultimate in everything. We want to bring you all your bits and pieces and everything else. How did that work for them the first fucking time? It fucking didn't.
Oh, it did not.
And then when you turn around and you look at games. Okay, yeah, games are going to be a part of it. Okay, we want to bring games to your fucking laptop. We want to bring games to your mobile phone. We want to bring games to your Xbox, your TV, your fucking smartwatch, to your grandma's fucking heart, your grandma's little heartbeat system.
They're going to make the little Xbox TV. It's going to be a whole console integrated with it.
The Xbox friggin' TV is coming, people.
Exactly.
But the thing is, it's like they want to diversify and they want to bring themselves out and they want to get in all these avenues and everything else. But they really got to realize that they got to stay in their fucking lanes.
Basically,
like Microsoft are known for two fucking things: the Xbox and Windows. Okay, keep working on your PC. If you want to bring stuff on the PC, cool, no problem. You got Xbox Game Pass. That's brilliant, love it. But going and saying, I want to bring it onto every single system and to you cloud this and everything else. This sounds like a lot of marketing bullshit.
It is.
To make the basically, they did puff on the fucking chest up trying to make themselves feel bigger. Coming at you, bro.
Oh boy, keep it on topic, guys.
It is. But that's the thing. It's he's coming out. He's making all these promises and everything else. We've seen this happen before. It didn't work then, and I can tell you now, it's not going to fucking work now. Because, frankly, at the end of the day, like you said in the beginning, Keith, people don't trust cloud anything because it's so easy to hack. It is so easy to get there and steal personal information. If
I'm
they
not
will start
gonna go
moving
there.
all their stuff
I'm not going to go there because we can do that now outside the cloud. Don't even bring that in.
But
that's the thing. Nothing is 100% security.
No, and
there is no such thing as 100% security.
It's cool,
but to turn around, it's all good. You got all these plans going on and everything else, but you've done it before. It's like
your brother saying, one day I'm going to beat you, and I'll get you money, and mom's going to give me the best birthday cake. No, this looks like a Street Fighter, so let's try next time.
Oh, boy.
I will say that I can at least appreciate the fact that it's a singular focus. You know, whereas the Xbox One, they tried to make themselves up as just like, here is everything that you can plug into it. Here is how you can make it all Xbox, and here is the one thing. At least with cloud streaming, xCloud, they're trying to make it a singular focus. They're not concerning themselves with, you know, like, here's how you can also stream your this, and this, or you can connect it with your, you know, whatever. They're keeping it to the games, at least to their credit.
And just remember, if you're going to use xCloud, all your games are going to be registered, so you can't trade them to your friends.
Oh, God, I remember that.
Yeah.
Good times.
We got to remember, guys, if anything, clown all you want, we got to remember that old management, administration, whatever you want to call them, idiots are gone.
Yeah.
And they replaced it with a brand new one. Replaced it with a brand new one. I'm sorry, Phil Spencer, as much as everybody gave the dude praise, he's a fucking idiot. I'm sorry.
He may be idiot, but he's done more than what they've done in the past. I'll put it that way. If anything, he's done more than they have.
I'll explain to the same way I explain to my coworkers who are morons. Just because you got lucky, you didn't get caught in stupidity, doesn't mean you're not stupid.
Oh boy, we can apply that so many different ways. Let's not do that. I can apply that to everybody.
My boy, yeah.
All right, so you guys are clowning. I'm going to move on to the next topic. Let's go. Speaking of cloud, I'm going to talk about cloud until I die because I'm invested in this. GeForce Now finally came out of beta. It's been in beta for the last 3 to 4 years. It finally came out officially, so everybody now can participate in it. They have a free tier and they have a paid tier. Free tier gives you access to GeForce Now for an hour. After that session is up, you can restart it. The paid gives you access to 6 hours. After that session is up, you can restart it. Plus, paid gives you access to RTX or NVIDIA's ray tracing technology. I've been playing this for a couple of years. You should try it. It's actually pretty good. If you sign up you can sign to be a founder right now. You don't have to pay until May. I would say give it a try.
So hold on. So from again, I might need you to just elaborate this for me.
Mm-hmm.
You know what's sitting in my system right now, graphic card wise? I'm running the GeForce RTX 2080.
Mm-hmm.
Does that mean that from what you've just said, they've locked the main feature of this card, which is the RTX ray tracing technology, behind a fucking paywall?
No.
Okay, so elaborate.
What they've done is give people access who can't spend $1,200 on that video card, plus another 3 to 4 above to buy that processor. As I was going to continue, I was able to play Destiny 2 max settings, 1080p, everything on my Surface Pro 6, Metro Exodus with RTX enabled on my Surface Pro 6. Flawless.
All right. That makes more sense than what your initial comment was.
Yeah, you let me finish.
Well, you did finish. Then I
was still talking about it.
But so the deal
don't take a breath, motherfucker.
What the fuck? You want me to die?
Wait. So this deal lasts until May, right?
The Founders Edition lasts until May, correct? They have not said how much it's going to be.
Right, exactly. So I have until May to pony up. So basically, until April, dip out. That's what you're telling me.
For right now. But again, it's a really nice concept, and it's better than, which I'm going to compare it to, the dumpster fire that is Stadia. Surprise, Stadia's back.
Really? This
shit's all over Stadia. I'm sorry. The latency is way better. In some instances, you can't even tell it's there. And I'm not imagining things. I'm not exaggerating. I literally sat there in my kitchen with my Surface Pro 6 on a wireless connection and sat there and played Destiny 2 for a good 2 hours. Like, this is amazing. The fact that I can take a device that can't run games to save its life and stream them with no issues was great. They also have the ability to let you change the the amount of bandwidth it consumes, your graphical fidelity as well. There's 4 different settings, it consumes a lot of bandwidth. I'm not going to lie and say it doesn't. You have one it consumes 4 gigs per hour, 6 gigs per hour. The top does 10 gigs per hour, or you have a custom setting. You can sell it as low as you want or as high as you want, what resolution you want, how many frames you want, and I think it's actually a really nice concept. You had a question. Go ahead, Mace.
Yeah, no, it sounds like a very good concept. My question is, obviously, you would probably need an NVIDIA card in order to access this.
No.
Anything
can run it. You can run on Android phones as long as
it works Android. Doesn't have anything.
I'm now looking at my piece of shit laptop going.
My Surface has no Surface Pro 6 is integrated Intel.
So that means my piece of shit Lenovo here, which is running like I think it was like an AM. It's running a Radeon.
Doesn't matter.
Like it's
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
So I can get this shit actually playing a game without it looking like a fucking slideshow.
Yep.
There you go.
Yep.
Okay.
I have a question about.
Go ahead.
How does so you said that the free version comes with an hour playtime. So that means that, and once your hour's up, what happens?
You restart it. You do it again.
So you just have to close out of your game and then go back to it.
Yeah,
you don't have to pay to keep going. Like, okay, but you have to pay to play for 6 hours.
Yes.
And what if you stop in the middle? Does it restart? You then have to pay 6 hours. If you want more 6 hours,
If you close, it's 6 hours at a time. So if you're playing 6 hours and it stops, you can restart.
Okay.
You're not limited to just 6 hours a day. It's 6 hour sessions. And the reason for that, the reason why I believe that is, and they haven't said why, is these are Blade servers, and they're still rolling these out to different data centers. There's 9 in the US and 4 overseas. These servers are equipped with NVIDIA cards. And you're sharing. It's a virtualized experience, virtualized desktop, basically what it is. And in any virtual environment, you have what's called resources and shares. Users share access to that video card or video cards. So the 1 hour, because you're not paying anything, is we need to make sure resources are available for other people. So if you're playing for an hour or you walk away for half an hour and you didn't free up your session, you're still using that resource. You're still locked into that. So they boot you off. If you want to play again, you jump right back in. Same for the 6 hours. You're playing for 6 hours, but you stopped at 3 hours because your mom needs you or your wife called you or you just forgot or whatever. It kicks you off. It frees up that slot.
It can also be used to make sure that servers aren't overloaded and crashing.
Exactly. It's what it is. It's the shares and resources.
Give it time to sort of cool down the actual servers that are physically doing all this as well.
Oh, no. You don't have to worry about that. These things are cool to the hell and back. Trust me. If you ever walked inside of a data center, you freeze.
Oh yeah, it's a freaking freezer, man. I know.
Yeah, you freeze. So that was my experience with that was really good. A lot better than it was a couple years ago when I tried it. And one reason I'm singing the praises of this again because it kills Stadia. It kills pretty much every cloud streaming technology out there on the PC. Everyone that I've tried, it does better. Shadow, Liquid Sky, this kills it. To their credit, they've been working for 5 years.
So it'll be exclusive to Epic Games when?
No, seriously. You can use it. Doesn't have access to all the games, but it has access to your Steam library. If you give it, it has access to GOG and access to Epic Games Store. The best thing about this is you play the games that you already own. You're not locked into Stadia, just like Xbox Project xCloud. You play the games that you have.
Cool.
So I would recommend trying it. Try it on your laptop, man. Seriously, do it. The only downside is some games may run like crap because, again, they're still rolling out the updated servers. And you can tell. A good example is if you're playing Doom 2016, you can tell it to bring up the stats. And it will tell you what video card you're on. Some people are on the old Tesla T40 or T90. And the newer ones are on the RTX 10. So you can tell the difference. I know some people have stated in the US they're still hitting the older hardware, but NVIDIA is still rolling out the new hardware. So give it a try. Definitely give it a try and tell me what you think. At least an hour.
I shall look into it.
I think it's good technology. Not going to change the way you play games, but for the fact that I can play these games at high fidelity on my Surface Pro, That's a game changer for me. I'm sorry. That's.
I think for me, this is the difference between having to wait until I come home to play World of Warcraft and playing World of Warcraft during school hours.
If that game was on there, if that game is on there,
that probably would be possibly.
Yeah. So that's
the new one though.
Right there.
The new
that's good stuff.
Warcraft 3, baby.
All right, so I'm gonna move off this one. We're gonna talk Matt. Matt's gonna love this one because I know he has some concerns or some reservations about the EVO 2020 lineup.
Oh yeah, EVO 2020. Everyone got a game except for NetherRealms because NetherRealms didn't pay Wizards some money. That's about it.
So as everybody knows, a couple fan favorites made it back to Street Fighter V.
Fan favorite.
They love it. You can't say they don't love it. They still love it.
Capcom's a really big fan of EVO.
It is one of the lower viewed games. One of the most, regarding the fighting community, people don't talk about it anymore because everyone knows it's booty butt cheeks. But yeah,
but they still play it. They still play it.
You can say, you know what? People still play MVCI, and that game's a dumpster fire. So don't.
Street Fighter V Champion Edition got in there. Tekken 7 made it back, which I'm glad.
That deserved it.
Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, you knew that was going to be in there.
That deserved it. Yeah.
Grand Blue Fantasy Versus. I knew that was coming. That was coming. Anybody who didn't think it was, it's crazy. Under Night and Birth is there.
Under Night Birth CLR, yeah.
It did good. It did good in Japan. It's coming back.
Which again, yeah. I guess that's a metric. I mean, even Street Fighter V didn't do well in Japan, but what, just put it in, whatever.
Samurai Showdown made it back. I'm glad to hear that
it
did.
Good. Another SNK. Yeah, it's always good to have an SNK game every year, at least one.
Soul Calibur 6.
Just remember to put the controllers in this time.
Soul Calibur 6 made it back. I wasn't really sure if that was going to make it in there.
It was honestly, I gotta give credit to the community for pushing that game pretty hard. That game was like in the depths. It was in poverty land, but it came back. So everyone who played that game and Pro until deserves it.
And Dragon Ball FighterZ made it back, which I wasn't sure if it should have come back.
It's gonna make it. It's the new Marvel, for God's sakes.
It's got a new season coming out, and they just announced today that they're changing up the assist system. And we may find out about Series 3 tomorrow because it's the grand finals for Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball Fighter. So
I think the last qualifier happened yesterday, and Takakawa won he was crying. It was a great game. Good guy, Takakawa. I think that's Tachibana, but anyway, Takakawa won. It was good.
And we got a Marvel vs. Capcom 2 Invitational.
Yeah.
I don't know why the community just won't let Marvel die.
No, they won't let Marvel die. It's the fact is that Mr. Wizard and Capcom, it's a payday for those guys. I mean, if you may not know the qualifier, Justin Wong, Sanford Kelly, and Yipes do not have to enter any qualifier, and they're automatically in the Invitational tournament. Which screaming, it's a fix.
They've already said they're holding qualifiers throughout the upcoming months to figure out the next 4 slots.
Yeah, SoCal Regional is one coming up in NEC this year. I mean, a Big E tournament. So I'm upset by this simply because you made a tournament to get yourself and your boys a payday. You're even advertising a company that sells DC port switches for the Dreamcast to play. And I'm like, this over Mortal Kombat. This over...
So let me ask you that, because that was my concern. I thought the finals last year with Mortal Kombat were great.
They were phenomenal. The game is
Why did Mortal Kombat come back? Why?
Because, Mr. Wizard can't do that. Come on, remember, the last 3 or 4 EVOs have been dominated by everyone else not Capcom. We had 2 Smash games at one point. We had almost 2 SNK games at one point. We had 3+ anime games. Namco Bandai has 2 games now. Used to be 1. Capcom's slowly getting pushed out because they suck. And they
Wait. Say that again. Repeat that last statement.
Bandai Namco had 2 extra, almost 2 games.
3.
Yeah, 3.
See, Bandai Namco is
Tekken, Soul Calibur, and Dragon Ball.
No, Dragon Ball's Arc Systems. Get out of here. Because come on, yeah,
it's Bandai Namco. Stop it.
No, it's Arc Systems. Don't argue with me on that. That's Arc Systems. Team Red for life. But anyway, so yeah, basically, so that's 2. So slowly but surely, if the next gaming cycle comes in and we get a whole bunch of 1 or 2 extra fighters, there's a possibility, and it's shown that this could be an EVO without Capcom. That's a strong possibility. Because Street Fighter V is just slowly slipping into I
don't ever think there's going to be an EVO without Street Fighter, without Capcom. It's not happening.
I mean, if you want to believe that, sure. But you want to force people down the throat. I mean, it'd be like, you could Phil Spencer me. You could be like, hey, don't worry, guys. I'm going to have a better Street Fighter with more graphics and a better combo system.
I mean, okay, as bad as Street Fighter 5 has been, and even as bad as Street Fighter 4 was, until it got better.
4 is acceptable.
4 had issues in the beginning. Don't say it didn't. 4 had a lot of issues.
Problem 4 is safe jumps are too strong, and towards the end of the game, in Ultra, Dudley was strong enough. It's just people know how to fight Dudley. Dudley was just too good. In my opinion, the problem with 4 is that the first Super 4 was best, and Ultra 4 is the best. Arcade Edition is due to butt cheeks, and 2012 was just like a punch in the face. Vanilla Street Fighter 4 is vanilla. You didn't know what to expect. And that's Street Fighter 4 in a nutshell. But so 5 is just like, it's not, that's like whatever. It exists. That's the best way to
You'll have to get it to a point where nobody signs up for Street Fighter 5. And even then, I mean, go ahead. Marvel killed itself. Marvel,
so basically, no, that's a possibility. For example, people play Sam Show. People still play King of Fighters. I don't see King of Fighters 14 in there. So it's up to the people in charge who could throw out and not. So in my opinion, it's like I can see a world where Street Fighter doesn't make an EVO. I can see it because how many entrants were in Street Fighter 5 in Japan? Do you know offhand? Japan EVO. Let me double check.
No, it wasn't. I know it wasn't very high.
No, it was. Yeah.
I thought he put out the numbers, but.
Well, I mean, if anything, I think Championship Edition is going to be the last hurrah for the game anyway.
Champion Edition.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. I almost see they'll probably just make some
additional
balance patches. Street Fighter.
I'm only saying that, Rob, because Championship Edition is a great game.
This is how much you get. A 1,462. Smash is 2.9K. That's you lost to Smash in Japan.
And you know what they got for it? A controller.
Exactly.
Anyway.
Oh my god. Yeah.
Speaking of Smash, no melee again.
Yeah.
I'm only going to be sad about that because there's nothing else you can do. Mr. Wiz hates the game.
Nintendo probably told him no.
I hate anime, and I'm an anime guy.
Nintendo probably stepped in too and said no. Push Ultimate. Push that shit.
And even if you take all of that aside, logistically running a melee tournament of that size is too hard. You just can't do it.
I mean, we've done worse. I've seen people run up Vampire Saber on cabinets for like 100 plus people. So
yeah, but the thing is with melee, you're gonna get a lot of entrants because the fan base is still there for sure. And not only that is that logistically, it's hard to organize a tournament for it because it can only be played on a CRT. It can only be played on a GameCube, which means you have to get a GameCube with a copy of Melee, which if you look on eBay or something, Melee usually averages around like $60 now. It's a rare game to find, at least in its original form. And even if you weren't to use a GameCube, you have to mod a Wii, which is not legal, especially to EVO. They're not going to do that. So it's just logistically, it's a hard to run game. And the fact that Mr. Wiz doesn't love it or is not a fan of it, then it's not going to happen anyway.
My personal opinion, if you really wanted to showcase an old game, you could have brought back Super Turbo, the Super Turbo revival community.
No, please no more.
Why not? You want to show the world the best Street Fighter. Super Turbo exists. I'm just saying. That's one.
That game's been there too many times. I love the game, but it's been there too many times.
Oh, okay, sure. Anyway, so you could have brought back an old King of Fighters game. America's most successful King of Fighters is 13. You could have brought back 98 for some people who enjoy that. 02. You could have brought back something else. Hell, you could have even brought back Sam Show Special if you really wanted to promote Sam Showdown. Yeah. But no, we got Marvel.
I don't know if they would put 2 SNK games there. I don't know. I would love to see them come back.
You're thinking like Mr. Wizard. I can't let this happen. I can't let some other company take over my tournament. You're thinking like him now.
But you got two Bandai Namco games there, and by your argument, 2 ArcSys games in there.
Yeah, and why not have more? Because those games are the best right now.
Why not bring Killer Instinct back?
Killer Instinct is dead. That's
dead.
Actually legit.
I'd had to say that. It's completely dead.
So come on. Yeah.
Very much so dead.
Think of, if you're going to bring a game the strongest company that has the most entrants. Like, first of all, PlayStation Cross Tag didn't make it. That game is still very popular. People still enjoy beating one dude down with Ruby and Infinite God. No, that game makes me cry because I blocked once and I died.
So with this list, are you looking forward to EVO?
Not as much because of political reasons.
We lost Mace. He came back. What happened, buddy?
One political reason is that The
During a podcast, don't let your housemates start watching the fucking Netflix.
During this Evo, we'll have infiltration might show up, and infiltration, regardless how you feel.
He cannot
He's
show.
Gonna be there, so you can pretty much see. Yeah, I'm excited that my games are there, but I'm upset that he's going to be at that tournament.
Did they say he's going to be in there?
Yeah, he is. They're trying to return.
Did he not go to EVO Japan? I thought he was there too.
I think he was. I got to check. No, he was at EVO Japan, I believe. Let me double check to be sure.
I don't.
Well, he's no longer sponsored now, so it's not like
he got another sponsorship. It's he got another sponsorship.
Was he there? Wow. All right. So, are you going to watch EVO?
Yeah, he was at EVO Japan. He was at EVO Japan.
That's what I thought.
Are you going to watch it?
Me, probably for my games, but if he's in my game, I won't watch it because I can't do that.
Honestly, I just want another Dragon Ball Fighters Grand Final.
It's going to be fantastic, and hopefully Sonic Fox can't cheat this time, so it'll be fine.
It's going to. It has to be. It's going to be them forever.
No, there's other better players. There's Takagawa, there's Shibana, there's Verda. There's a bunch of better players. And plus, the fact that Sonic Fox lost the second tournament right after it without using the magic pause technique, I'm just saying, you look hella fraudulent. So I don't think he's going to win it this year. Oh, he's probably not going to enter. Who knows?
Oh, he's going to enter. He's always going to enter. He's going to enter.
Probably. Right now.
Is it bad of me that I'm actually looking forward to the Marvel's Capcom 2 Invitational?
Yes, it is.
No, I don't think so. I think it's fun to watch.
Three top players, Sanford, Justin Wong, and Sanford Kelly, does not have to enter any tournament. They already qualified. Therefore, just to fix his invoice. So yes, enjoy.
It's not. Well, that's the thing. It's not like an actual tournament. It's an invitational. It's basically a glorified exhibition.
Yes, it is.
That's all it is. It's a glorified exhibition
with money.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it just seems.
There are people out there that do these things that just come in as special attractions and get paid for it.
Yeah, but
that's how they draw the viewers in, man. This. You're a marketing man. You're a marketing man.
Accounting man, but the reason why
you understand.
I understand, but the point is you want to see Air Hype Viper beam all day? Is that what you want to see? Do you want to see people just give up the moment they see Crouching H Infinite by Magneto? That's what's gonna happen. If you want to see that,
that's fine.
Type in Battle of the Strongest, watch it on YouTube. It's a great tournament done once a year, and enjoy yourself. Don't waste my time at EVO for this.
All right, folks. So EVO 2020 is going to be something. EVO 2020 is going to be something. Matt's already salty. Plus, we're going to see Sonic Fox there because they got rid of Mortal Kombat 11. Come on, he's going to be in Dragon Ball.
I heard he's been playing Street Fighter. I don't know if he's going to enter Street Fighter, so maybe 2 games he entered this year. Could be 3.
That'd be interesting. I have not seen him play Street Fighter, so that'd be interesting.
I have. At
least you can be Hyper Smash Guys. Am I right? The real fighting game.
Oh,
sorry, what?
Smash Boys and your credit cards. Oh boy.
Well, to be fair, that's probably going to be the only game I care about. I will watch Street Fighter 5, but I mean, I don't really play the game anymore. I'll watch it and be fine with it. But
my opinion, top 8 could be dominated by. I expect to see Karen. I expect to see Laura. I expect to see maybe a G and maybe 2 Balrogs in top 8.
Yeah, we're gonna see more Balrog for sure. That what is it? Not V skill 2. The V skill 2 that he has now, it's insane. Yeah,
it just his punch is good. Get a hard knockdown, sway up, chip him to death.
Him and G we're gonna see a lot more. G got a lot better, I think.
Yeah, his taunt is amazing.
Yeah, the taunt. And I agree. Everybody else will still see the usual.
Now we're talking fighting games. All right, we're gonna get us off this. We're getting off this. We'll be here all day. All right. So unfortunately, we have to talk about some bad stuff now, which is the coronavirus, which I think it's an epidemic, and if it hasn't been classified as one yet, it's going to be. We've got over
it has been Asia, classified by the World Health Organization. It has been classified as a pandemic.
We've got over 600 people worldwide dead now, including one of the doctors from China who basically talked about it and tried to make everybody aware of it, and he got detained, locked up, and then he got infected, and then he died.
Yeah, even more if you believe the leaks that came out.
We've got several cases of it over here in the U.S. One of them is in Boston, Massachusetts, which I'm heading up to in end of this month for PAX, and now I'm like, I don't know if I want to go. That's kind of scary.
We've got at least 6 confirmed cases here in Australia, and about half of the people sitting offshore that have pretty much got the virus as well.
It's
so
crazy.
yeah, it's the end of the days, man. And we got to put tinfoil hat on. And if you have a look at the place that made it, this is just fucking umbrella with blue logo.
It's crazy, but it's also happening.
Corona is an anagram for raccoon, so we all know this is the beginning of this is the beginning of
anyway,
get that Resident Evil practice in, boy, because you're gonna need it.
Anyway, this is also affecting the gaming industry as well. We've got several delays. We've got Outer Worlds for the Switch. It's now being delayed due to this. They said the company that's doing the port has not been affected, but they are in the area, so they're keeping on the wraps. They don't want any of the employees getting sick. Nintendo has been hit. Their upcoming Animal Crossing Special Edition Nintendo Switch has been delayed. We don't know for how long because of the parts being manufactured in China.
Basically, this is what happens when most of your manufacturing plants are in China.
I know the Oculus Quest is now back ordered. When the
world is made in China, this is what happens.
Yeah, the Oculus Quest is back ordered now because the parts are being manufactured in China. So that is now delayed. I know there was a couple other ones. I just don't remember who they were. But yeah, this shows you that this virus is causing effects on your gaming. It's also, I'm willing to bet it's going to affect upcoming, not conventions, but tournaments. People that are in China won't be able to come over to compete. They're going to say, nope, stay there. We don't want you.
Oh, no. Well, this is the thing. Like, my country has effectively said anybody who, as of February 1st, is coming from anywhere in China has to go through a 14-day quarantine offshore at a place called Christmas Island. That's regardless of whether you're Chinese, white, anything. You coming from China or you've stopped in China after February 1st, you got to stay in quarantine for at least 2 weeks to make sure the virus hasn't been incubated in your system.
I think the U.S. is also doing
a lot of other countries are starting to follow suit as well. This is going to affect not only just manufacturing industries.
Oh yeah,
with a lot of them being based out in China. So that's got flow-on effects to like gaming, electronics, automotive, everything else. It's going to affect movies as well because a lot of places like to film in China because it is cheap. So, and until they get this virus under control, or at least find a cure for it or a vaccine or something, I reckon that this world is in for a bit of hell for quite a while.
I wonder if that's going to make people realize that maybe they shouldn't put everything in China and bring their stuff other places.
Oh, believe me, I'm quite, as much as it would be near impossible to do so just from cost effectiveness, you're going to see politicians turn around and start wanting to pull this stuff. They're going to be like, okay, now we need to find a way to start pulling our manufacturing out of China and do it partly in our own countries.
Or better, just make your
I know President Cheeto seems to fucking want to do that anyway, regardless. Put America.
We should have done some of that before. I'm for that.
We over the last couple of years here in Australia, we sold a lot of our automotive manufacturing to China, and I think that now our politicians are going to regret it when the flow-on effects hit the automotive industry. So yeah, it's definitely going to be one of those things where a lot of countries are now going to have to start rethinking. Maybe we need to start bringing all the jobs and the manufacturing and everything back to home countries, just to avoid stuff like this in the future.
I mean, I hate this. I hate to have this epidemic of virus be the main reason this happens, because I'm not against China. I'm not a racist. I'm not against countries, but I've been saying for the longest time, jobs that could be brought over to the U.S., you should do that to give our people jobs. I understand economics. I get that.
Yeah, exactly. And also is that I blame us since the 80s. We've gotten spoiled by just doing things the cheap, dirty way instead of doing things the right way. And now we're going to go back to doing things the right way. Everyone's losing their mind. I don't know what to do because they're freaking idiots. That's the way I look at it. It's like, you could do things the wrong way. It's easy. But, the right way, forget that.
Plus, you got to think, centralizing any type of manufacturing or developmental stuff is a really bad idea, because if something like this does happen, all of a sudden, entire industries are shut down.
Yeah, the idea is that you're supposed to spread it evenly.
What happens if China gets wiped off the map completely?
Well,
exactly. Everybody's screwed.
Exactly. I mean, if they do, I mean, we could just finally bomb off North Korea, so that's one problem taken care of.
Oh, look, you can take them all back from Australia. They're pretty much half the fucking country now, anyway. But that's besides the fucking point.
Honestly, I mean, for me, I feel like the impact is at least coming from a U.S. perspective, but this could definitely apply anywhere else too. Is that I feel like the impact for right now is going to be slow, and I think even in the coming months, it's still going to be slow, unless we all of a sudden find out that all of a sudden there's going to be multiple upon hundreds of thousands of people getting infected. Then the conversation is going to happen. Politicians are going to spin it all they want, and I think it's going to happen regardless of whether it's a few hundred people or several 100,000. You know what I mean? But I feel like just in general, like. We're probably going to have to wait and see what the severity of it is. I'm not saying wait and see like we're expecting it to get worse, but at the same time, it's. Do we not going to see much movement?
If I can sort of give you an idea, like one of Australia's major trading partners is China. Yes. We supply a lot of meat, vegetables. We send over copper ores, all sorts of stuff over to China for manufacturing purposes. When this started becoming a real problem, it wiped hundreds of millions off our stock market. It has anywhere that has like a China or Asia Central location. Like I've got a place 15 minutes up the road from me called Box Hill, which is basically full of your Koreans, Vietnamese, Chinese people. It's a ghost town. It's a ghost town right now. Nobody is in the streets. Why? Because they're scared of this thing. And to see the fact that we are still we're lucky we can still ship stuff over there. We just can't bring it in right now. It's killing our economy because they're one of our major trading partners. We rely on them for tourism. We rely on their students here to help prop up our universities and everything. Fires, this stuff, man. Like it's hurt. It's gonna hurt. Like it hasn't fully impacted yet financially, but we know it's going to because we've seen the effects starting. And I know, again, President Cheeto once again in his ultimate wisdom, he's just signed a big fucking deal with China. And when that kicks in, all of a sudden that's going to hit you guys as well because all of a sudden your deal is not going to mean as much as it did when
I paid no attention to this guy. First, the guy who wanted to block China, then now he wants to work with China.
In my opinion, I'm going to explain to you this the same way I look for every conservative, every person with big mouth. You're effing cowards until it comes down. You just nothing but talk. All they're good at is blowing out of their mouth. That's all I can say. Because if you're really wanting to stop China, you would create trading alternatives with smaller nations and other people who will buy from you. But you didn't. You're too busy just running your mouth like a freaking idiot.
But that's the problem with a centralized industrial industry that China is. Exactly. There is not that many options to go to other places.
And it's that. The only way to really beat them is just honestly, real talk. People forget you could just buy less. It's not that hard.
Buy less video games, buy less consoles, buy no more Xboxes.
Buy more Xboxes, buy that.
Buy more. No, you buy more Xboxes because while they're made in China, they're supposedly an American product.
Well, I will try. I do want to turn it back to the games for just a second. I mean, do we honestly think this is going to impact the production of the new consoles moving forward? Like, are we going to see a delay in their release?
Yeah, we are.
Yeah. It's going to impact games as well because China's such a market. They don't want to not get their money. So
the only way we won't see a delay is if Sony and Microsoft are going right now. We need to shift manufacturing now, and it wouldn't be the first time that a company has said, "You know what, we need to move our stuff elsewhere." It's going to impact them if they don't.
You'll find if this virus thing gets any worse than it already is, expect the Xbox Series X and the PlayStation 5 to be pushed back at least 6+ months, or they're going to have a limited production on release. In which case, it's going to create a scarcity, and it's going to basically scalpers.
So this would be the first time.
Scalpers going to have a merry.
So this would be the very first time that we actually tell you to pre-order your console. Because you may not get
one. Pretty much. Believe me, if the second we hear that this is going to impact everything, you make sure you get that pre-order in.
You better get to GameStop first thing in the morning because they're going to sell it off. I'm kidding.
Because you don't want eBay.
Oh yeah.
Actually, pre-order at least 3. So you sell 2 off on eBay and you keep 1 for yourself to make a profit.
It's an investment. There you go.
You make there you go. Investments.
It's an investment.
See, financial advice here on the Outerhavens.
yeah. Here on Spectator Mode, get your investment advice. Yeah.
Get an eBay account. There you go.
Make an eBay account. Start selling other stuff.
Well, I'm actually going to put that on the Twitter as a poll. Do you think coronavirus will delay those? Because that is actually a good question.
That's actually an interesting, good question. But in the meantime, can we do some bitching?
No, we have not gotten to the bitching part. No. We have to talk about... You wanted to talk about Dan Houser leaving Rockstar, which I could give. I'm like...
Who the fuck's that?
The co-owner of Take-Two, I believe. The co-owner, right?
I brought it up, and I won't speak about it too much, just because I do think it's important to note, even though, gripes aside from Rockstar, if there's anything to appreciate from the writing...
Is he the one that turned GTA Online into a microtransaction-laden mess?
I mean... yes and no.
Okay. Like, I'm not telling you.
I just wanted to bring it up because he's primarily known as somebody who's part of the writing and creative portion of Rockstar Games. And I mean, I wanted to bring it up because it's going to be fundamentally different, at least in a lot of ways, moving forward. I think a lot of GTA games, there's a certain attitude with GTA games. There's a certain tone and feeling in Red Dead games. I think moving forward, it's going to be vastly different for them in some ways. I mean, they're probably they're missing a 50% of their creative crew. Everybody seems to put their creative stock in the Houser brothers, and everybody saw that. And now that one of them is kind of moving away, I mean, their stock tanked for one thing, but for another thing, it's he was fundamentally a part of the writing team. I mean, he talked about the whole 100 hours thing with Red Dead, and I mean that was an exaggeration, but still, he worked hard on crafting a story for that game. A lot of people associate the stories with Rockstar Games, even if you don't like GTA 5 story all that much, or you just think it's generic. It still is a stereotypical, it's an archetype, and it's based on that, and it is in some ways impactful, but they did it right. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And people loved Red Dead Redemption 2's story, and they thought it was fantastic, and I agree. I thought it was great. It was a good prequel. Right. They did it very well, and I just wanted to bring it up because it's an important part of their intellectual property, and he's going to be moving away soon. So I wanted to bring it up because I think it might actually legitimately change how they make their games in the future. It would
change the idea of their games because the way that their parent company, I think, is Take-Two. Am I correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. They want to move towards a live action, shitty, those stupid, whatever, crappy models. And Mr. Houser's like, I make games. What is wrong with you? And just left. And my personal opinion is that how are you going to fight that? How are you going to fight a company that just that's one of the things I really do hate about modern capitalism, that never-ending quench of cash. It's dude, I make gangbuster games. I could literally crap out an average game, which is GTA 5 does feel a little average, even though I love the soundtrack of the game. I still make gangbusters, and I still continue to make gangbusters. So what is wrong with you? And that's the way I feel about it. It's you really made one of the core founding team leave. And what happens if he makes his own company, make his own game? The guy, the Outer
He could go to another company. He'll go to Blizzard. He's going to Blizzard.
No, that'd be a terrible idea.
Like everybody else.
Activision's a terrible company to work for. What are you talking about? You want to go to Blizzard? Why don't you buy Warcraft 3 and tell me how that worked out? Buy Warhammer 3. Tell me how that worked out.
I'm good. Oh, wait, I can't play my original version. What the hell?
I do want to ask you a question, though. Do you really think he was being forced out? Because there's nothing that, at least I could tell, that indicated that he's forced out. It looked like he's just leaving.
It probably, in my opinion, was he's getting forced out because of the fact is that if you notice, a lot of the games, particularly Red Dead 2 and GTA 5, have a much extended shelf life compared to what he would usually do. Look at the time period he made Grand Theft Auto 4, plus all the additional content than 5 than Red Dead. They're trying to make these games faster. He's being forced out. He doesn't want. Clearly, he's an artist person. You can't do that. Game's an art.
Plus, he'd be one of the advocates of single player storytelling. If you take a look at the difference between 4, 5, and Red Dead 2, or even Red Dead and Red Dead 2, is that you had DLC additional stories or modes that were single player based. Rockstar and Take-Two have now moved on to the online model, where they're now getting extra revenue by microtransactioning everything, and that seems to be their focus. they dropped the Grand Theft Auto 5 single player DLC in favor of putting out more multiplayer stuff. Yeah. So for a creative guy like that, who's sitting there going, I want to do something, and they're saying, okay, well, write a story for online. He's like, no, I don't want to write an online story. I want to write GTA 6.
Yes.
Or Red Dead 3. No, you can't do that because we want to focus on online.
Yeah, okay, so let me ask you a question. Hang on.
Believe me, as somebody who is a creative as well, if somebody turned around and said that to me and going, okay, you can only do in this one particular medium, when I'm sitting there going, I can hear the people standing outside my windows every day going, GTA 6, GTA 6, or some single-player DLC or something, and you're telling me no, well, my answer is going to be, well, fuck you, I'm leaving.
Well, let me ask you this now. Do you think we'll see a GTA 6 now?
Not in
the immediate future and not in this generation. I think you're going to be looking very, maybe about another 2-3 years down the track, or they might just turn around and do like they did with GTA Online, which is take it from the PS3 to the PS4. I reckon they're going to do that first, see how that works before even considering GTA 6.
Well, I would imagine that GTA 6, at least creatively, is probably pretty far in the pipeline, right? Because, at this point, I'm sure a lot of it now, development-wise, has to be going through and crafting the world. It can't be much about, what the story's got to be. If they've already been in development for a couple of years, I'm assuming they are. We've heard some little tidbits and rumors about it, but, I would imagine it would be hard not to expect GTA 6 to already be in development for at least a couple of years, maybe more.
No, not with a generation change coming.
And also,
I don't think they're going to do the same thing that they did with GTA 5.
I agree.
Which is do it mostly on PS3 and then port it to the PS4. I think they're going to wait until the new generation has been established, see how the consoles sales are going, then make the decision. I reckon you're going to see a third port of GTA 5 before you see GTA 6.
Let me ask you something real quick before somebody jumps in. Wait a second. Yeah. Not related to this, but sort of related to this. Do you think that CD Projekt Red doing this for Cyberpunk was a bad idea? Developing for PlayStation 3, PlayStation 4, and Xbox One?
No.
Or wait?
No, because you've still got a lot of these consoles sitting in people's homes right now. The uptake on the next generation is going to depend on the price point, and you always have that maybe 12 months to 24 month area between the release of a new console and when it really starts to become that point where it's like, oh, we're going to focus development here. Cyberpunk is going to have a good life on current generation consoles, and I don't think that the fact that we're about to see a new generation come out is going to affect sales.
I agree, because I think they positioned themselves in a spot where they have virtually nothing to lose. Because it's like, you have things like the Final Fantasy VII Remake, which on one hand is episodic, so there's going to be more. And on the other hand, there's things like another Square Enix game, the Marvel game that they're making. That's coming out way late. It's coming out in, September? I think that's what they delayed it to. Yeah. That's way late. And I mean, think about it. The next console is probably going to come out 1 or 2 months later. It's really tough for them. I feel like Cyberpunk is in a spot where it's perfect because they know they're at the end of the console generation. Even if they still delayed it to where it is now, they still have plenty of time before the next generation is on people's minds and thinking about the cost of paying for a new console like that. They have the least amount to lose in comparison to some of the other games that not only have sequels coming in the future but are releasing way closer to the new console. I think they picked a very perfect spot because they knew there's 1 more year left before they're moving on to something completely different. Why wouldn't they put it on there now, especially with how much development time and how much development hell that game went through?
Yeah.
All right.
And right. And I was going to one more thing, Rob. The thing too is that if they were making GTA 6 and he was working on that game, they would more likely to scrap any idea he had and rebuild to the ground up. The same way I have heard and see documentaries why Tetsuya Nomura is an idiot. They had to recreate Final Fantasy 15 5 or 6 times while he was on that project. So there's a possibility, and when he left, they had to remake it again. So there's a possibility that if they were making it and he was on it, they had to re-scrap it because they don't want to give him any checks.
Possibly. All right.
Yeah, that's fair.
So, we'll have to wait and see how this affects GTA 6 if it ever gets made.
If ever gets me this year.
All right, Mace, you said you wanted to bitch. I think we've covered our topic. So bonus round will now be a bitch fest because you asked for it. So go for it. Go ahead. Complain.
Oh, this one's coming from.
You can't talk about
this. Bugger.
No.
I was going to say one of your favorite companies in the world, Keith. You know, Blizzard Entertainment and their favorite little buddy Activision.
Keith is not a fan of Blizzard or Activision.
Right. He's getting ready.
Basically, Blizzard have fucked it once again. With the Warcraft 3 remastered edition.
Reforged.
Reforged. Sorry, Reforged.
They burned it again, all right.
Oh, yeah.
They left that thing cooking and it didn't go nowhere. It needs to hammer out a lot of bugs at this point. Basically, this game is an absolute clusterfuck because they screwed up the UI, they screwed up the gameplay. They put more bugs in that they took out. They have basically everything that they have promised since they announced this thing a couple of years ago. None of it's been implemented.
Nope.
And what's even worse is they went and took all these changes that they did and put it to the older version.
Yep.
So even if you want to go back and play a copy of the original Warcraft 3 and the Frozen Throne expansion,
can't do it.
You better hope that you have like some sort of offline illegal version, or else you ain't gonna be able to play Jack.
They literally stole your money. Which is how?
Yeah. No. You want to talk about stealing money? Okay.
No. Here's where
Here we go.
Oh god.
What makes this game even better, even God tier, is that because Warcraft 3 was known for its custom games and custom modes. That's how we got Dota, League of Legends, all this other fun stuff.
Yep.
They have made you sign a digital release, buying the game. Anything you made, it's owned by Blizzard, and they can take it.
You know why they did that. You know exactly why they did that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because if somebody builds the next new Dota, they want to make sure they got that IP locked down.
But here's the thing, though. Why make the game to begin with? Why? If you know you were going to do this, why? Oh, by the way, you can't get it. Well, up to today, I think it was even yesterday, I believe, you can get a refund. Up till yesterday, you were not going to get a refund whatsoever. They sent you bots that said no money ever. It was great. It was glorious. They robbed you so good, so good. I have to. The response to this entire thing has been absolutely hilarious from the get-go. People who are going, we want a refund. If you played any more than 5 hours, then which is enough time to actually realize that your game is fucked. Mm-hmm. They're not going to refund it. If you turn around and cite things like the Australian consumer law, which states that if a game is unfit for purpose and is not of the quality that was originally promoted, which if you went back at the time that they released it, their advertising still had those pre-cut scenes from BlizzCon as the marketing. That's misleading marketing, by the way. That's a lawsuit waiting to happen. Yep.
And they turned around and they said, no, we're not going to abide by Australian consumer law, which our Consumer Rights Commission turned around and said, yes, you are, or else we're going to fine you fucking lots of money. And then suddenly, Australians can get refunds.
Yeah, just you guys.
Everybody gets a refund. Everybody's going to get a refund.
But that's the thing. Everybody should be getting refunds. Everybody should be getting refunds. If this game is not living up to expectations, and it's not the game that they promised that they were going to deliver, and it is unfit for the purpose of what it was, which it technically is, they've screwed it up that badly that you can't even go back to your original version. So basically, they have locked you into this. You should be entitled to a refund, but they are doing everything in their power to bullshit their way out of it to make sure nobody gets their fucking money back. Unless you are literally going to turn around and say, well, I'm going to have a lawyer investigate this, in which case then they're going to be like,
and that won't work over here. That won't work over here.
Yeah. It's working everywhere but the States, which goes to show you guys
surprise.
are I've heard people in the UK are able to get refunds. Australians, obviously, we can get refunds because we are covered by by government law that states if you are trading a game in Australia, you have to abide by our rights and practices. Basically, this has just been an absolute clusterfuck of not only PR, management, development, and everything else. I don't even know how to categorize it. Like,
it's
as
a
Matthew
brand
said,
new nightmare.
like this is god tier fuck ups.
Yeah,
it's hilarious what it is.
Yeah. And it is now the lowest rated game on Metacritic.
Well,
for as bullshit as we think Metacritic is.
Yeah,
it's just great to see, like.
It's just great to see something get bombed something more than Fallout 76.
Like, it just, put it this way, this is the best dumpster fire I can give in 2020 so far. It's the best, like, I feel so good on the inside.
This has been the funniest comedy of errors I have seen in a long time in gaming. And
it's a damn shame. It is.
It is. It's a damn shame because Warcraft 3 is an absolutely brilliant game, and it deserves
a proper
it deserves a proper remaster and the respect that it was given when it was first announced at BlizzCon. That's what it deserves because this game is absolutely brilliant. We wouldn't have World of Warcraft without it. Nope. Blizzard wouldn't be the multi-million-dollar company that it is without it. And frankly, it's a shame to see how far that company has fallen.
No, like
and to be honest, yeah, and that was the thing. Like a lot of people said that when Activision's purpose, and they said that this is going to be the end of Blizzard. And considering, look at the last 12 months alone, they've had a lot of their original top tier developers, story writers, management have just up and walked out.
Yep.
And not even gone anywhere else, up and walked out. When people are quitting the business because of this, you done fucked up.
Yep, you done goofed. I mean, let's put it this way. Some people push. Hearthstone. We have lost 3 key developers. We lost Peter Whalen. We lost Ben Brode. And you can tell we play Hearthstone now what has happened to that game. That game is the single player content used to be free, a subcharge. It is legit. You're paying like almost expansion level cash for a single player experience. That's all. Right. I'll leave it as that.
And look, one of our other people here at the Outerhaven, Josh Pedra, he used to be a Hearthstone fanatic. He would constantly talk about the game and be hyped up everything. I don't think I've heard this guy even mention the word Hearthstone in
He did talk about it He did talk about it not so long ago, but he wasn't very happy.
When you, a lot of
people, Peter Whalen, like, how did you get this guy to leave? You just hired him last year. How?
Yeah, like when you get hardcore fanatics of the game turning around and saying, "I'm done."
Yeah.
It's sad. It really is.
Yeah, and that's that. And I was one of those people. I'm done. I stopped. Like this. I don't even watch people who play Hearthstone anymore. It's over for me, man. Dream's dead.
All I can do is feel bad. That's all I can do. I remember playing Warcraft 3 when I was younger, and I don't have very fond memories of it because I was too young to really enjoy it. But I liked the game, and I just feel bad that they're going ahead and butchering both versions of it, even older versions. Like, it just doesn't make sense.
Like, to me, it's like how to put this. And you played World of Warcraft.
Very bluntly. Put it bluntly.
It's like once this company has been purchased by Activision, slowly Activision's killing the heart and soul of Blizzard in very small, minute ways. And the best way to describe it is like how
first they killed Overwatch.
Oh yeah,
now they're slowly starting to kill World of Warcraft. Now they've killed the Warcraft 3 remaster. They've killed pretty much effectively killed Hearthstone. Once they hit Diablo and StarCraft, it's GG.
My opinion is Diablo is already going to be there because a new director, which makes no sense. But whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, let's put it this way: I'm going to hire the Gears of War guy to work on a Diablo game. What? You couldn't hire any other guy.
Enjoy all your hiding behind walls in Diablo from now on.
Cover me! Classic magic! Cover me!
It's going to be interesting to see what happens.
And regen health by hiding behind the wall.
And there was the issue with the mobile game thing too, right? With Diablo.
Yeah, Diablo.
Well, they've had the same. They've had this going for a while too, because even there, that was horrible.
Oh yeah.
So bad.
Yep. Well, anything else you want to bitch about before we say goodbye?
Can I
No
just quickly say? Can I say just quickly? Rest in peace, Crash Bandicoot series. You've gone to the mobile dumpster fire. You're dead.
Wait, it's on mobile now?
Yeah, they brought out one of those what do they call them? Endless runners. Based on Crash Bandicoot. I'm like, okay, now they're starting to bring that over to the mobile stuff. Okay, rest in peace that series. That's done.
Nice knowing you, Naughty Dog.
Yeah, pretty much. just wait for the Uncharted Endless Runner, and then they're completely fucked.
It's called Temple Run. You ever played it?
Oh
no, because I don't play mobile games. I'm not a fucking.
But yeah, the one thing I want to complain about before I go is, why aren't we talking about the greatest game that's left us by? You know what I'm talking about, Keith?
No.
What's up, Rob?
Bloodborne?
No. What's talking about the greatest game?
Untitled Goose Game?
No. Rest in peace, Destiny 2. Hand cannon meta for all. Hand cannon meta for all.
Well, I don't use hand cannon, so
you're not winning. Enough.
I've won quite a month, actually. I don't fight people up. That's the thing. I don't fight people like you up close. I sit in the back and snipe your asses. I don't play
if you got a scout rifle, you're still winning too. Scout rifles
are what insane. I do.
Pulse rifles are also really good. Have you seen the I won't go into it too much. Have you seen the hurt boxes on Guardians? If you're shooting at them with a hand cannon, you could literally shoot like here and it will headshot me. It's insane. If you have Thorn, if you have like Luna's Howl, you could shoot over here, and I'll get hit in the head.
And you
it's the old Roadhog headshot. Yes.
It's the old Roadhog. Yeah, he's back. Oh, by the way, and Karl, because they added hero bans, so far the hero bans they banned Farah, they banned 76, they banned Lucio. They haven't banned Hog yet. But once that happens, be nice knowing you.
Yeah, I get back to Destiny 2, but this is exactly why at Destiny 2 I sit back and I use the Jade Rabbit still, and what is the other scout rifle that I had grinded forever to get it? The throwing knife. The throwing knife.
Oh, I still have to get that.
Yeah. I just sit in the back and go, all right, you want to come? Go ahead. I'll shoot your fucking head off. Have fun.
Dude, the last word is so good. I know it's a PvP meta and it's such a meme, but it's such a good gun. And they even nerfed them and it's still so good.
I know. What did this to me? Like, that's the way I feel like it. Who?
And the buff to the handheld supernova is insane. And if you have the exotic armor for bracers, where you get a random amount back, it always fully charges it. It's insane. Warlocks are broken. Everything's broken.
Just wait for the Valentine event and when they revamp the swords. And if they're doing what people are saying they're going to do, there's going to be a problem.
Well, hey, why do that when you can just play as the Flamebringer Warlock and just keep throwing out the flames?
Yeah,
that's apparently a thing now.
I really hate that spec. I really do. I refuse to use it.
They better patch that out soon.
Patch it? Oh, come on.
The reason it's in there is because people complain because they weren't powerful enough.
Right.
And they did that. They're not going to patch that.
Well, no, I'm not saying patch out like the move or make it wet. There's literally a glitch in the game now where you can continue to throw the projectile from Flamebringer even after you lose your super. It just keeps going. It's insane. That's got to go. Now.
It's a jump cancel from an attack. So basically, when the attack, you just cancel the animation, but the animation never went through. So just.
You can also swap weapon, and it gives you the same thing. We just keep mashing, and it works. It's insane.
And the sad part is, I'm not saying I abuse it, but I do like my 57 legit win streak.
I also walked into a Sundial event, and literally this dude's just going boop, 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 and I'm just like, this is so annoying, but it's also hilarious.
See, this is why we need to talk
it makes me glad that I never got past like the opening starters shit in that game.
No, you need to play.
I don't recommend it. Once you get down, you realize, wow, I've become a disgusting, filthy human being.
I still have a lot of fun with the game, but I recognize its flaws.
I'm gonna have to go back to my sources over there, and I'm gonna have to tell them they done fucked up.
Yeah, hey, I think you fucked up, guys. Nice knowing you.
Just wait till they bring back trials, then you can go say it. Like, all right, now you really did it.
Oh my God.
Oh boy, I'm excited. It better not be broken though. If it's broken,
it's gonna be broken. It's gonna be broken. It's gonna be
in a bad
broken.
way. Broken in a bad way. There we go.
Broken
All right,
in a bad
so
way.
I think we're done. You got it out of your system, right? You're done. You're done complaining. You're done bitching. You're done getting frustrated, right?
Feeling better.
I want to complain about the last thing that bothers me. See, I swear to God, I did take that throw. Y'all saw me. I was playing, Street Fighter. I did take that throw, right?
Yeah, your controller smells. I get it.
Yeah, I take that throw.
All right, folks, we are done with this episode of Spectator Mode Podcast. As always, you can find us on audioboom.com, Spotify, Google, what the hell do they call that? Google Play, Apple iTunes, or Apple Podcasts, and wherever podcasts are found. Also on YouTube.com, where you're watching this likely right now. You can find these guys on Twitter, which will be on the YouTube description. And we're done, right? We're done. No more.
Feeling good. Feeling bad.
We're good till next week.
Until next week. All right, so we're good till next week.
Wait, so I get that refund from Warcraft.
All right, I'm rolling the credits. We're out of here. See you, folks.